Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, Pisces. Pisces, are you really ready to hear? My hair is crazy. Are you really ready to hear what soul is twisting my arm to tell you? I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know what's going on. I was told, I just got home from running an errand, and then I was told that I needed to come live for Pisces. Oh, girl, I gotta just be honest with myself. I was supposed to go live for Pisces this morning after the energy update, and what ended up happening was I went to sleep. I have elevated levels of avoidance, and I went to sleep. So here goes. We're going to go ahead and do a Pisces reading. Pisces, are y'all ready to hear this? This better be some good shit, Michael. I swear to God. If, someone said to me, someone commented, okay. Someone commented that, I knew it. Damn you, Michael. Someone commented that I really shouldn't put my opinions, my personal opinions, when I'm doing readings. The whole reading is my personal opinion. Some common sense here. The whole fucking reading is my personal opinion. Okay. Now that I'm done with that, I'm extra salty. I wasn't salty this morning. Not, I mean, maybe kind of just a little bit, but it was just like residual salt. Now it's, I knew it. I knew it. Right when you told me what the title was going to be, I knew it. I knew what this reading was going to be about. I think I need to put on my blue wig for this, you guys. Because I feel like I need to wear a blue wig for this so that I could really give you guys the messages and be detached from the outcome. Because it's just... Just get the other cards. I'll just give you guys what you want to know. What you want to know. Patty, embrace your sodium. There's no avoiding it. I'm so pickled in the sodium. It's more than embracing. I'm marinated in that. Marinations. Okay, so obviously, based off of my attitude right now, obviously this is most likely going to be a twin flame thing, okay? It's probably a twin flame thing. And I say probably. 2 out of the 3 cards in that particular deck that specify twin flame stuff. See, that's just bullshit right there. That card that fell out is just bullshit. All of this whole reading. Okay, I'll stop. Because some people take these readings so seriously. So seriously. Like, oh my God, she's taking my life not serious. Actually, I don't know you. I don't know your life. So I don't know why you're taking me and my weird ass coping mechanism so personally. So here goes. Wait, no. I'm putting these 3 cards back because all 3 cards. All right. I'm not putting these 3 cards back because apparently they're supposed to be out. Whatever. Is that it? That's a whole lot of cards. That's it. All right. I'm taking my glasses off for this because I really don't want to be seeing nothing. I don't. So I'm just taking my glasses off. Got my glasses all fogged up. Are you guys ready? You guys are ready, right? I am going to put my glasses back on. The change in wearing glasses and suddenly not wearing them, it was making me a little dizzy. So, card number 21, Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. So, this card. This card is all about um, being able to put into play all of these tidbits of wisdom that you've been collecting. These are pearls of wisdom. And if they are all like strung up, oh my God. Okay, so here's the message. Here's the message. You're like those pearls of wisdom, or they're like the pearls of wisdom. Every thought of you has really, they've collected every single last thought that they've been having of you. And I think it's getting to the point where it's like fever pitch and they really just can't stand it anymore. So, whatever ego was being used to kind of like, I don't know, play this game of, well, they need to contact me first. That apparently is done because they're just, yeah, it's everything's unraveling. Whatever ideas they had that that helped them to justify pushing you out of their life, all of that is kind of unraveling. Okay, it's almost as though it's almost as Bookie, okay. It is kind of satisfying to some degree. If it's just stop, girl. So here's the thing. With all of this, there's a lot of activation going on. There's a lot of things that are needing to be said, things that have been really affecting their throat chakra, possibly your throat chakra. Again, communication, that's what keeps popping up for Pisces anyways. Pisces, would you just call or text, whatever it is, so that the reading can move forward from this whole communication thing? And if you're cross-watching, you know you're obsessed with Pisces. Just message them already. I want the reading to go forward from whatever this is. So it's really like a swirling, chaotic thing that's been going on either for one of you or both of you. But whatever it is, shit's about to really, really take it to a whole nother level. Okay. So card number 41, Home in the Sky. Mm-hmm. I'm going to save this card for later. That message is a little bit much. Card number 14, Let Love Grow. So either one or both of you have been clinging to a very, very like expired perception, expired connection, all of that. And, you have to allow love to grow. You can't continue to to force it into like a very limited space. So for some of you, what this is getting at is that maybe it's your perception that's causing the pain. Maybe it's a total shift in the way you see things that's needing to happen so that whatever this communication, whether it be energetic, in real life, it doesn't really matter, but so that it can take place. So going back to this card number 41, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 being the number of change. What ends up happening is if you or they have allowed yourself to rise really high, to really, really reach higher levels of inner, under, and overstanding of yourself and soul, they're now trying to get there too. They're trying to rise higher in their consciousness so that they can kind of relate to you. They're trying, okay, I'm being told they're trying really hard to be able to relate because there's this it's like this message of they didn't realize to what degree they thought they knew you. Okay, here's the thing. They thought they knew you when there was still communication going on between the two of you. They thought they knew you. They thought they pegged you. But in reality, all you really showed them was the surface levels. And I think that they've been watching you for so long at this point. Because for some, it feels like this has been going on for so long, for a long time. And they've been watching and silently observing. And they're realizing, holy shit, I had no idea who they were. They're so much more intelligent, so much deeper. And I just didn't know. Had I known that that's what I was dealing with, um, I probably would have approached it a different way. It's this sense. This is like the feeling that I'm being given. Like they honestly didn't know. They didn't realize. And even if you did tell them, like, I'm not like other people, I'm not. I'm very different. And if you think you're going to play the same games that you play with other people with me, you're going to lose out on something. They didn't understand how humble you were actually being when you made that type of statement. There's a chance that um, they were able to feel how different you are from other people, but their fear of um, possibly coming to the conclusion on their own that they're not enough for you. That's what really kept them staying at the superficial layers of you. And whatever, whatever. But that's the message that I'm being given. They didn't actually know the depth that you could go to. um, I think for many of you, um, you were a novelty, and I don't mean that. I'm not trying to be hurtful. It's just the way it comes across, the energy. It's like you were a novelty, like a Romeo and Juliet, like, yeah, this is my Juliet. Failing to realize Juliet, I mean, unless she had elevated levels of intelligence, depth, emotional depth, you're not really a Juliet. You know what I mean? They made a major miscalculation and they lost. They lost. That's it. That's bottom line. That's what happened. Major miscalculation. They lost. Woo woo. Oh well. We moved forward. They didn't. Card number 48, Yod. Oh, well, ew. Michael said that's a misstatement. I said woo woo. They got hurt. We moved forward. Oh well. So he's saying no, not oh well, because there's a very real potentiality that neither of you moved forward. Both of you, both of you, both of you just put a really, really good poker face on. Poker face, poker face. Y'all got poker faces. I see. Card number 48, Yod, Destiny. Yes, Riva. You didn't move forward, you moved sideways. That deserved 2 snaps right by the ear. Card number 48, Yod, Destiny. It's within both of your destinies to communicate. Notice how I said communicate. Communicate, not force a romantic thing, okay? Communication. Now, everyone's circumstance is going to be very, very different. Everyone's circumstance is different. For some of you, the communication is to put to rest and really excavate the energetic wounds that have become necrotic, the wounds that have really rotted. You can't just put a band-aid on something that's become necrotic. You have to cut out, excise, remove the necrosis, or else it's just going to continue to spread. And I think that's what's going on. For some, the communication will be energetic, telepathic. For others, this is in real life stuff, because everyone's different. Everyone's different. So card number 48, Yod, Destiny. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. 144, 23, 14, 33. That's some shit right there. Okay. This is an influential card. It implies that there's a disruptive force at work. There was a lot of disruption that occurred. If we're going to really be honest, Okay. So there was hesitation on the part of Pisces. Um, there was a recognition of the depth of the connection, and there was fear of the potential, the very elevated potentiality of hurt, disappointment, rejection. I think when this person came forward for many of you, and you don't even have to be Pisces, because let's face it, these are messages from soul. They're messages from soul, so they can apply to anybody. If you find yourself here on this video and you're resonating, the message is probably for you, regardless of what's in your chart. But what I'm being told on the part of Pisces, there was a very elevated recognition of the potentiality of a crash and burn. Okay. And that made you very hesitant to connect deeper, hesitant to make known your feelings and all of these things. And what ended up happening was it became amplified and reflected. And the moment it became amplified and reflected back at you, because they were mirroring you, that just set shit off. You know, that really that really caused whatever friction was occurring to elevate and escalate. Okay. This card can denote a time to voyage inward and come to your own truth. There really isn't anyone who will have the tools to figure this out more so than you at this time. Yeah. Your inner knowing has it already, so you just have to take time to process the information to come to your own answers. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, this card can mean that the situation may be chaotic or may soon turn that way. Ooh, okay. This is not always bad because it's a process of finding what works and what isn't functioning. Okay. More positively, this card means that circumstances are good for achieving your goal, but be prepared for sacrifices on your part. Ooh. um, uh, what? I'm being told that that message just now was more for the person. If someone wants to communicate with their Piscean, um, this card means that circumstances are good for achieving your goal, but be prepared for sacrifices on your part, and not just one, but several. So I'm wondering if there was interference that caused the two of you to separate, stop with the communication. Is that interference still in play? Is that something that the cross watcher is still allowing to create disharmonic um, energy between the two of you, even if you guys are not communicating? If this is really a true twin connection, regardless of how long you guys don't talk, regardless, you two will always feel each other. You'll always feel each other, regardless of how you feel about each other. You will always feel each other. You'll always have some sort of idea what the other person is going through or feeling, but because you're not in communication, there's no way for you to verify that you're actually picking up on them. So that's deep. Okay, specialization. Pisces, you're specialized for transformation, for metamorphosis. Okay. You're probably the only sign. I'm trying to think of any other sign. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Pisces is probably the only sign that has the ability to dwell both deep in the water as well as high above the clouds. Okay. So you really have the ability to transmute all of this and let love grow. But I think what's going on is, for some Pisceans, you guys are just waiting to see if these things that you've been feeling, I guess for years now, for some of you it's been years, waiting to see if it's valid or if you're just imagining it. Kindly be quiet, Michael. He's saying something. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what you're saying, bruh. I don't know what you're saying. I don't want to hear it. Card number 16. What? Okay. Oh, wow. All of this stuff that he was saying, I was like, I don't want to hear it. And then I did hear what he said right after I said that. He goes, all right, let the next card speak for me. Card number 16. What you want wants you. Well, there you go, Pisces. Apparently, what you've been experiencing is most likely true. You haven't been imagining. You really do have connections. And I don't know, shit. Both of you are going through whatever you're going through to ascend. Okay? This is about ascension. This is more than just this is more than just a message for you to like, oh, go ahead and message them. It's safe to message them now so you guys can have some boom chicka wow wow. No, this is really very deep. This is a very deep connection. It has a potentiality to rise to levels of consciousness that you never thought you would reach. Here's the thing. We as a spiritual collective, those who are interested in spiritual topics and in growing yourself, we have done such a disservice to ourselves, really allowing ourselves to believe these lies that have been just rampantly spread regarding the twin connection. And I'm not necessarily I'm not necessarily salty and pissed off at my divine counterpart. It's like this hodgepodge of bullshit that people keep putting out there. I mean, it's starting to be negated, but it's created so much suffering and so much separation, unnecessary pain for such a prolonged period because we allowed ourselves to believe these lies that all twins have to be, in order for it to be a divine union, it has to be a romantic sexual connection. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Just like that, okay? I call bullshit on that. It's not necessarily supposed to be a romantic sexual connection for every single twin pairing. Not all twins are supposed to be physically in the same space in this life. For some, actually for many, this is just an energetic recoupling. The energetic recoupling allows for the positive and the negative charge to once again begin the process of evolution. Okay? See, now thundering. Creation is backing me up on this. Card number 47, my dear friend. Whoa. So both of you are experiencing an emotional winter. Both of you are experiencing an emotional winter. One of you is fully prepared to, travel this winter landscape. The other one, probably the one that's still believing in the bullshit lies about twins. There you are in your peach organza dress looking like a fucking debutante in winter. I don't think it snows where they celebrate debutante shit. Okay? So one of you is still very much ill-prepared for this reconnection. I know you're not saying it's me, Michael. You're about to catch a real hot one from me. I am a deer. I am a deer. I am ready for emotional winter. That is my environment. Don't talk to me right now. Card number 33. Translucence. Love the darkness. So in order for some sort of, Marcy, that Hancock is my life. It's my life. Call me Charlize. She's really hot, though. Let me just stop. Maybe I'm more like Hancock. That's not funny. That's what Michael said. You're more like Hancock. Shut the fuck up. Love the darkness, okay? Allow yourself to really embrace these shadow aspects that are rising up because that's actually what's needing to be processed in order for you to realign with whatever this is, whatever this connection is. There's a realignment that's needing to take place, and that realignment is very, very necessary to reach the higher levels of consciousness potentiality. Notice how I'm talking about consciousness, not about like sexual stuff, okay? Card number 39, air element, communicating. Again, communication. Disconnect my phone, my spiritual phone, my cell phone, social phone. Just disconnect it. Card number 39, air element, communicating. All action results from thought, so it is thoughts that matter. So whatever thoughts you've been having, you need to begin really allowing yourself to become aware exactly of what you're thinking, where your thoughts are taking you. Do your thoughts serve as a bridge to take you back to places within yourself that are rife with toxicity? All of us have toxicity within us. If you want to say that it's everyone else that's toxic, you probably the most toxic person you know. Okay. That's just a little truth bomb. Shots fired. 50 cal, bitches. 50 cal, bitches. I'm shooting 50 cal today. I'm serious. If you think it's everyone else that's toxic and you have no toxicity within you, you are probably the most toxic person that you know. Okay. So, and I'm not saying that to shame you. I'm saying that so you can become aware of the aspects of yourself that need more attention. This is not about comparison. This is not about, well, I'm not toxic and you are. No, bitches, we're all toxic. 50 cal shots are being fired. Oh, shit. Okay, let me just stop. Think it over first. Put some mental effort into it before you put your talk into action. Be logical. Sort it out, okay? Begin to really sort out what is it within you. If you really, really want the truth of twin connections, so long as you have toxicity, your twin will reflect that. So long as you have a sense of self-hatred, a sense of self-sabotage, refusal to acknowledge the depth and gravity of yourself, your twin will reflect that. They'll see you that way. If you do things like, some people are extremely intelligent and they're like, oh, so what Emmie's saying is, if I work on myself, they'll come back. If I love myself, they'll love me too. What I'm saying is this: your twin knows about the bullshit. I'm not joking. If you try and do things with the intention of trying to manipulate them, because that's a manipulation. If you're working on yourself for the end result of you manipulating their thoughts and feelings and bringing them back to you, they will know that, and you will forever be burned into their consciousness as a lying manipulator. Unless you're ready for that, don't play that game, because they'll know. They'll know. I'm telling you, they'll know. Okay, let's see. Ooh, when the air element card presents itself in a reading, it's time to put into words what you want, what you desire, and what you expect. So, okay. Ideally, this card indicates the powers of manifestation, the magic of mind and thought, bringing ideas into being. What you think might be can happen. So guard how you think and be especially careful as to the words you choose. To spell a word, that is to say a word, is to cast a spell. That's what they call it. That's why they call it spelling. The ancients knew that words held magic within them. So do thoughts. If nothing else, the air element card indicates that your mind and your words have power. Use them well. So instead of trying to manipulate someone through your words and how you're trying to manifest your personal sense of fulfillment, wish fulfillment, why don't you actually just work on yourself? You know what I'm saying? Work on yourself. And it's not work on yourself so they'll work on themselves and then you guys will come back together. It's work on yourself so you understand what exactly do you want out of your connections. All of your connections, from friendship to romance to whatever else. What do you want from that? And once you realize what it is you're looking for, that's what she'll call to you. And for many of us, what you have to come to terms with is that what you want is not your twin. What you want is happiness in a way the twin might not be able to provide. Okay? So stop limiting yourself. Stop holding space for something that you don't even know will be. Why don't you just leave space open and be mentally and emotionally open to experience life in its totality. And if you happen to come across someone who makes you so happy and you don't ever want to be without them, perfect. Do they need the label of twin, soulmate, twin ray, gender twin, whatever the hell else you want to call it? They don't. They don't. All you need is that recognition. I've held a space for something so sacred, and the right person has now come to fill it. And now I'm going to live a life feeling very fulfilled with the experiences that we share and all of that beautiful stuff. So to your core, you have to dive deep into your core to really witness your actual truth. Your truth is rising up like a fire. Is that rain or is that hail? It sounds pretty loud. You have to allow your truth to rise up. You've held it contained in your belly for so long, in your core for so long, without actually digesting it. So what happens when you don't digest the food? It begins to rot. It begins to rot. Okay, I'm now getting hot. So here goes. Card number 13, Power of Attraction. So 2 out of 3 cards within this deck have come up, and there's only 1 card missing that signifies a twin type connection, and this is what probably this reading is about. Okay, power to attract. Why would you want to attract back to you something or someone that's reflecting the toxicity that's still within you? What are you going to get out of that? Right? What are you going to get out of that? You want someone to come back so badly and they're still in a space that's very toxic. What do you get out of that? More toxicity? Wouldn't it be better for you to go ahead and work on yourself and again hold space open for something that's very balanced and very healthy, something that's empowering, uplifting, something that can stand the test of time, right? Versus just being able to say, I'm in divine union. Well, enjoy. Enjoy that shit. Okay? None of my business. Enjoy it. So, again, structures are being created, energetic structures, in order to hold the or support the gravity of what's being built on top of it. You have to remain fluid. You have to be focused on what's going on. This is a reunification of energy. Before anything else, this is just a reunification of energy. Now, for some of us, this reunification of energy will become a manifestation in actual real life form, where the two of you are in contact again, the two of you are at a place where it's a healthy type of connection. And whether it develops from friendship into a romance, that's really dependent on each person. It's unique for everyone. Okay. So card number 26, transformation. 2 being the number of guidance, 6 being the number of receiving. Allow yourself to receive the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences that will help you to transform into a higher, more evolved version of yourself. You were never meant to stay stagnant and be the same person forever. You just weren't. You weren't. And the sooner you're able to realize that and accept that for yourself, the sooner you can attain even higher levels of consciousness. We're not trying to compete with anyone. And this is what this card is about. 41, at home in the sky. So you're being encouraged to rise as high as you can. And if they truly want to be a part of your journey, your life, they will do their work to rise with you. That's for sure, hail. It's bouncing off the trees. So if he's married, he's off limits. Bottom line. If he's married, he's off limits. Card number 1, make peace with your past. So whatever, I know it is huge ass hail. Whatever it is that's been occupying your core, your belly. Because remember, it's burning up from your core. Okay? These are things, thoughts, opinions that you have regarding the interactions that you probably had in the past, and you can't get past the things that were hurtful, the things that you didn't understand, maybe things that you didn't have the luxury of being explained to you. Um, it's you have to make peace with that. You have to allow that to just kind of be processed already. Okay, allow it to just be processed. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, I'm being told to look in my handy dandy notebook. Hold on. Oh, so it's about expansion, proliferation, wisdom, morality, abundance, and knowledge. Okay. I took some notes from Unified Astrology. Uh-huh. Okay. So you're being asked to allow yourself to reach higher levels of expansion, consciousness expansion. Okay. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So this indicates a period when doors are open to you and obstacles are lifted. So remember, whatever obstacles were created, there was a structure, an energetic structure that was also created to help carry that weight. You don't have to allow yourself to continue to feel as though you're being crushed by the weight of whatever is going on in your life. Okay. So, let's see. Goals or plans you started more than a decade ago will begin to bear fruit either right now or at least very soon. Something very good is about to emerge from the debris of the past. The past. Burning away the past. You have to make peace with it. And what happens when you burn things? Debris is left, right? This card implies good fortune and prosperity. Dreams manifest into reality at this time. It's also a time to be aware of how you approach matters of your own spirituality, faith, and destiny, which the destiny card popped up. This is honestly what I'm getting is that, and this relates to the chariot card. What I'm getting is that now is the time for you to really come to terms with the fact that this wound, Pisces, needs to be allowed to heal. Okay, you can't forever carry this within you and be upset. I can. Michael goes, listen to yourself closely. You can't forever allow yourself to remain upset. Okay. Oh, okay. Love and romance takes on a sweetness, a sense of freedom, where you can be who you are with the addition of acceptance and generosity. Let's see. Love others with grace and patience. Know that generosity is its own reward. Keep the expansive energy of Jupiter flowing, but with discernment. And in answer to your question, yes, but only if you are wise in your choices. Okay. New experiences trigger a desire for travel and inner development. Communications with angels and higher spirits are more possible now. Ooh, I'm being told. So this line, communication with angels and higher spirits are more possible now. Pisces, if you're doing the work and allowing yourself to rise up in consciousness, you are then being categorized as a higher spirit. So communication, okay. You are in a kingly or queenly place right now. Bigger goals and plans now rule your life. It's time to put laziness aside and buckle down for some dramatic changes, mostly positive. Okay, that's nice. So Jupiter returns. That's nice. But you have to take all of this information in moderation. You can't allow yourself to become overloaded and then suddenly enter into a phase of like trying to control, trying to manipulate, trying to force into fruition things that are not yet ripe enough to be plucked. Just plug that bitch. Okay, so don't force things. Things will happen naturally. If you are meant to have some sort of communication, you will without you forcing it. Okay? So, yes, granted, Pisces doesn't really tend to force things, but there are other aspects in people's charts that do try and make them force things. Don't do that. Very simple. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Like if I was your twin and you tried to force me, that's a surefire way for you to get blocked from every single social media platform. Have my number changed, moved, no forwarding address. I don't even know who you are. I'm sorry. What's your name? Don't force things. It's very simple. Allow yourself to focus on yourself. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to just begin existing in your authenticity. Okay, guys. So cards are flowing, are trying to fall out of the deck as I'm shuffling, and I keep catching them because I'm a fucking ninja. And Michael goes, those were cards that you needed. Too fucking bad, right? See that? I'm catching them all. Oh my God. It's like, you're not going to catch them all. Whatever. Okay, so this was upside down. I can't hear you. I'm focused. Okay. So, I call bullshit. I'm joking. Kind of, but not really. So, Two of Cups, okay? Two of Cups, peace of mind, joining of two people. So I'm wondering, for some of us, this might indicate a reconnection between you and another person, but it also might indicate a reconnection of your light and dark aspects. Excuse me, your masculine and your feminine. I think it's time for you to really, really begin considering integrating your parts. I think that's kind of what's going on, a need for you to integrate your parts. I don't care. Hold on, guys. I don't care. All right. Justice, balance, harmony, equity, righteousness, virtue, honor. So one of you was wronged. I think there might have been a lot of shit talking. I think there might have been a lot of shit talking about you. And let me just ask Bish, because I don't want to be. Okay. Is the Justice card regarding shit talking that was done about Pisces unfairly? Shit talking that was not rooted in truth, but instead was utilized to create a division. Yes. Let's see. You didn't ask for this and certainly don't need this connection. Maybe your human mind didn't ask for it, but on a soul level, you absolutely did ask for it. So if you have an issue with what was given, you should probably talk to your soul. See, that's kind of what happens, right? If you don't want to be listening to your soul, your soul will find another way to bring to you the very things that you're needing to experience to grow you in the ways that you're refusing to grow for whatever reason. The Moon in reverse. A minor deception recognized before damage is done. Trifling mistakes, overcoming temptation. And I think this has to do with the Justice card, where there's a need to correct whatever imbalance, whatever hurts were caused. There's another message. Hold on. So, love, friendship, beginning a renewed passion, engagement, understanding, and cooperation. So, with these three cards together, they're beginning to really understand, just like you're beginning to understand. Okay, this doesn't really go with my personal, the way I process things on a personal level, but I'm kind of being told to share this thought with you guys. How can you hold it against someone um, if they were in an environment that really, really encouraged their distrust of you? How can you really hold it against them when they're in a vulnerable place and they didn't really know what to think, what to do? There was a lot of fear of the unknown, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. And then they had people that they really, really trusted coming and telling them all these things that amplified their fears. Uh, and that's part of what caused them to turn away. How can you hold that against them? I'll tell you how. Now it's back to my personal stance. If you claim to know me, if you claim to really be able to see to my core, and someone comes to you talking shit about me, how could you ever believe that if you truly knew who I was? If you truly, truly were able to see my heart the way you claim? I mean, no one claimed to see my heart, but I'm just saying, if you truly, truly believe them, then, because the way I personally see it, if you are able to believe the ugly stuff that people say about me, that means there was a part of you that was already wondering that. That means there's a part of you that's looking for a reason to justify this condemnation that you're feeling towards me. So stay like that then. Be that way. Stay like that. Don't come back. That's my thoughts. You know what I mean? That's just, and I might be flawed in my logic, but that's just kind of how I see it. Because if someone were to come to me and be like, so and so was doing some really fucked up shit and blah 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 blah, and I've had people do this, and I'm like, really? I don't know them to be like that. I don't know what you mean. They didn't say anything to me. Oh, but so and so, blah 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 blah. Okay, hold on. Let me call you back. I will call the person straight up. Hey, what's going on? Someone said blah 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 about you. Is that true? Like, are you doing and saying all these things? What's up? Like, I don't think you're like that. But that's just me. That's just me. So I don't want to have around me the people who are so easily swayed into distrusting me, into disliking me. Just stick with that. Just stick with that then. You don't like me, you don't like me. That's fine. Your life will continue. My life will continue. Keep it separate. Let's see. But apparently the message is, Michael says, can you please return it back to the original integrity of the message? You can't hold it against someone when their vulnerability was taken advantage of and they didn't really know what to think. And, that's fine. That's fine. I'll be vulnerable sometimes too. I still don't believe the shit that people tell me that don't resonate with me, but maybe I'm just a different kind of person. Knight of Wands in reverse, interruption, unexpected change, quarreling, breakup of personal relationships, rupture. Oh, maybe that's it then. Maybe they've been so obsessed with you for so long that it fucked up their relationship, where they moved on from you and they went into another relationship and it fucked up that relationship. And now, so they're thinking they're coming back because what? I don't know. This answer is going to be different for everyone. Not everyone experienced this thing where, someone else was talking ugly about you. Sometimes it's just the person's fear of the connection, their fear of like, where is this headed? I've never connected with anyone in this way, and it's scary, and they're not giving me enough validation, enough encouragement. They're not letting me know that they feel the same. Well, none of that matters to me anyways. The way I see it, It's not really your job to try and convince someone to continue on their growth. You know, if you feel called to share your feelings, if you feel called to share your thoughts and opinions on certain things, to share words, period. If you feel called to do it and you don't because you're afraid, then that's kind of on you, right, Pisces? But it's not really your job to try and get someone to understand their journey. You're supposed to kind of just exist within your own journey and allow them to exist within theirs. Let me see. All right. Everything fell. Okay, let's go ahead and get you guys a couple more cards, okay? I'm here because I'm not all there. That's nice. That's nice. Let's see. People may be able to change. I call it taking chances to understand past their outward judgment of others. Some people are worth taking the chance, other people are not. You have to decide for yourself, you know? Yeah, I'm married too. If he's married, he's off limits. I'm married as well. We can be best friends. But I'm married, very happily so. And that's another thing, you guys. That's another thing that really irks me about twin stuff. When people people come to me, and I'm not saying Riva has, but in the past, the distant past, because when people start this shit with me, this type of conversation, I'm like, I'm good, I'm out, I'm out. But when people start this conversation of, me and my twin are supposed to be together, but his wife is so evil and is keeping us apart. Okay, he's a grown-ass man. He is a grown-ass man. If he really wanted to be with you, he would have left the wife and would be with you while the divorce is processing. So don't blame it on the wife, okay? You are the interloper. You are the one that's entering into something that's already formed. So instead of like vilifying someone who was already there, why don't you take it upon yourself to like really ask yourself, am I supposed to be romantic with this person who's not available? Or is this supposed to just be a friendship? Is this, is this a misunderstanding, a misinterpretation of my recognition of a very, very, very deep bond, a very deep bond with another person. And because my human mind lacks the ability to process the gravity of this connection, I'm just going to slap it with a label of romance. Because really, a twin connection is more than just romantic. It's like the culmination of all the important relationships you've ever had in your entire life. Relationships with your parents, with your siblings, with relatives, with your best friend, with your worst enemy, all of that. All of that. It's the epitome of all of that put together. So let's get a couple more cards. Yeah, I don't get that you're blaming Riva, but I have had plenty of other people who come to me and are blaming, and I'm like, why are you even telling me this? Like, I don't share your thoughts. Like, I'm not going to agree with you. That's kind of, you're going through your own thing. It's your own process, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, the wife's so evil. Okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. Right. His obsession with you can't go anywhere if he's married. And that's his lesson to learn. That's absolutely his lesson, him and his wife. Because please, it doesn't matter who's interested in me. All that matters is who I'm interested in. And if I'm interested in someone else, my husband's going to have an issue with me. The issue is with me, not with someone else. And vice versa. If my husband is interested in someone else, I don't care who's interested in him. What matters is who he's interested in. And if he's interested in someone else, he and I, we gonna have to talk. We gonna have to talk. Yeah, no, we don't play that. Card number 69, natural humility. So this is about allowing yourself to really just kind of, it's weird, like fizzle out, allow that rage, that pent up aggression, and it's almost like a lack of being willing or able to process what's gone on within you because of all these experiences you've had with this connection. Um, it's time for you to just kind of shrink yourself down a little bit. Not that you're full of yourself, but shrink yourself down a little bit so that maybe you could see things from a different perspective. So that maybe you can have a little bit more compassion and patience for all parties involved. Okay, not just for them, not just for you, not just for a third party if a third party is involved, but for everyone. Like, what is really going on? What am I really supposed to take from this? Am I rushing towards an end result that's not really in alignment with what this is supposed to be, what this is supposed to become? You have to really take your time, slow yourself down for that. Okay. Card number 13, birth and expansion. I think for the two that have this connection, a birth and expansion is occurring. Okay. I think maybe if there's a third party, the third party isn't experiencing an expansion of their consciousness. But for the two of you in this period, if all of these cards are talking about healing the wound, reconnection, communicating, letting go of the past, this is about really, really healing, not just dealing with topics of romantic connection. This is about healing on such a deep, deep level. Card number 5, fluidity. You have to allow yourself to remain the dynamic energy that you are. The connection you have with other people, especially the connection that's super duper deep. Those are meant to be dynamic, not stagnant. They're not supposed to fit in boxes. They're supposed to be the type of energy that can't be contained, that shouldn't be contained, that can't be manipulated, that should be allowed to expand and contract at will. And so in order to really allow yourself to experience that level of growth and rise, this is a conscious decision you have to make, where you have to um where not you have to, but you should choose to be in this frame of mind where, you know what, if this individual chooses to reach out to discuss things that have happened in the past, um that's fine. We can talk. I don't have any expectation of this going anywhere. I don't even expect us to be friends or have any communication after that initial reaching out. But I'm also open if this is like where my destiny is headed, if you believe in destiny, if this is where I'm headed and I'm supposed to have life experiences with this person present, that's okay. That's fine. I'm not gonna fight that. I'm not gonna um, try and control how this develops. And for those who are wondering, well, what if you're in a relationship? Well, just because they're present doesn't mean you're having an affair. Just because they're present doesn't mean you're suddenly you're suddenly running off to like motels to go get it on. This has nothing to do with sexual relations. This has everything to do with you allowing yourself to be open to experience whatever your soul is asking you to experience. And some of us need to understand, um if you're so afraid of how this is going to affect your marriage or your relationship that's already existent, what kind of foundation is that pre-existing relationship rooted in? Like, I know no matter who comes forward to me, I have no desire to be with anyone else. Like, yeah, I'll entertain a friendship if we're supposed to be friends in this life. Okay, I guess. We'll see. I mean, the moment you don't act like my friend, we're not gonna be friends. But in no way, shape, or form are you or anyone else a threat to my marriage. Mm-mm. That's solid. That's solid. There's nothing gonna interfere with that. There might be there might be times where, like, if I do have a friendship with someone, where maybe my husband or okay, we'll use me as an example, where my husband's like, what the fuck is this? Well, it's a friendship. There's nothing shady going on. Look through all the messages. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am just so different from other people. My husband has my passwords for everything. I don't know my passwords. I ask him to log me in because I can never remember my passwords. So we have that level of trust. And if you don't have that level of trust with your spouse, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, what do you really have? You know what I mean? And maybe that's why this other individual is such an issue. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's different. Card number 29, hive mind. You have to stop allowing yourself to be a lemming. Like, bottom line, a lemming, where people start running, you're going to run too. Why are you running? You don't know. So why are you running? Why are you fighting? You don't know. So why are you fighting? Who are you fighting? You don't know. So why are you fighting? You know what I mean? You have to begin really allowing yourself to experience a journey that is very, very unique for you, where you're not living by numbers, you're not creating expectations based on what other people tell you is supposed to go. And you can't, because I had so many people when I first became aware of who my counterpart is. I had so many people that were like, "Oh my God, so are you getting a divorce? Why? Why would I be getting a divorce? I have an amazing fucking husband. What the fuck would I do that for? Oh, but because, twins are supposed to, you can be my neighbor and my best friend. Fucking, I'm not sleeping with your ass. I already had someone." I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. And these people, because this was years ago, these people, and the reason it came up in the first place, they're like trying to do free readings for me, and they're like, "Oh my God, I sense your twin is in." Yeah, I already know who it is. I don't talk to them. And they're like, "No, but they're gonna come back, and oh my God, are you gonna get a divorce?" No, I'm not getting a divorce. Whether they come back or not, I'm not getting a divorce unless my husband asks me for one. I have no plan on getting one. And that's what you have to release, that hive mind mentality where, oh my God, the label has been fixed on somebody. And so now it has to go 1, 2, and 3. And that's how spirituality is. That's not how spirituality is at all. At all. That is not how spirituality is at all. And anyone who tells you that spirituality has to be done a certain way, you have to eat a certain thing, meditate a certain way, use certain terms, dress certain way, keep your hair in a certain fashion. Those are people who don't understand the truth of what spirituality actually is. Spirituality is a journey of rediscovery of self. That's what spirituality is. So make sure you keep yourself very much aligned with what you need, not what other people tell you you're supposed to need. What I need is a kind of love and understanding and patience that so far in my life, only one person has been able to offer me that. And I'm not going to walk away from that because that's what I need to help me heal myself. I don't need a label to help me heal myself because that label is going to be nothing but a reflection of my own dysfunction. If you understand what twins are, they're supposed to be identical. Yeah. They're supposed to be mirrors. So if I have dysfunction, how is another reflection of my dysfunction going to help me heal myself? Because I'm seeing it? Because it's being done to me? So, in that regard, yeah, you can use that to heal yourself, but I tell you, it's going to be the most painful option for you to use. Now, I recognize I have a less painful option. I have a way to be called out on my shit, my dysfunction, and that person who calls me out on my shit is willing to be there and be like, "Look, you need a hug? Is that what it is? You need a hug, you need a nap? You, you want to eat? Are you hungry? Did you eat yet?" That's the shit my husband does. And yeah, some people might be like, "Oh, he's treating you like a child." Well, because I never had an opportunity to actually have a childhood. I've always had to be very grown and very mature for my age. And so that's his way of helping to heal my inner child. You see where I'm getting at, you guys? It doesn't matter what the label is. When you hold space for someone to enter to help you to heal yourself, your soul will allow that. And it doesn't matter what the title is. So, card number 10, energy transmission. A lot of energy transmission, a lot of downloads of codes, downloads of telepathic communication, downloads of experiences that the two of you in that connection are experiencing separately yet together. Okay. So card number 107, true compassion. You're not just needing to have compassion for the other person, you're also needing to have compassion for yourself. If you are not ready to have some sort of communication, some sort of reestablishment of their place in your life, then no. Then you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay? This whole reading is about how, and it's been weeks now, weeks of like actually, no, it's been a whole fucking year, a whole year, especially for Pisces. Someone's coming back, reconnection, recommunication. If you don't want it, you don't have to. You don't. You can choose another way to learn. This reconnection might facilitate an easier learning path, but it's not absolutely necessary. They don't have to be a part of your life. They don't have to. That's something you have the freedom to choose. So card number 74, initiation and ceremony. Oh, look at that kumbaya. There you go. They're having a little dance off in that droplet, aren't they? Hold on. Okay. Let me just keep to myself. Initiation and ceremony. For some twin pairings, you will be initiated into a higher level of dimensional consciousness. And this is because the two of you have separately done the work that's necessary to be able to access the bands of frequency that are higher levels of functioning. Hold on. There's a secondary meaning to this card. Hold on, guys. So card number 74, initiation and ceremony. Oh, okay. Early on in Vegan mysticism, initiation and ceremony played an important role in marking milestones in life or spiritual development. On Earth today, we've often lost touch with the meanings of our ceremonies, and so they feel empty when we do them. But honoring important experience, you know what? The message is this. This is an important milestone in your spiritual development. This recognition of how to create healthy boundaries, enforce healthy boundaries, allow for healthy connection, because many of us, we've experienced trauma, and that's really amplified our fear about reconnecting with certain individuals. This is about allowing yourself to rise above that fear and recognize you have the right to choose, you have the authority, you have the power, you're the final say in that, and that you should release that fear. And that fear was really to bring your attention to something that's needing your attention. And maybe what was needing your attention was the fact that you haven't addressed the wounds that are associated with this failed connection. And so now you're becoming aware of that. So you're reaching a milestone in your development where you're no longer going to hold on to the weight, the heavy weights that have been shackled on you because of your fear, because of your hurt, because of your disappointment, whatever happened. Um, you can't change what's already happened, but you can move forward from it, either separately or together. But there's a need to begin really addressing the parts of your wounds that have begun to rot. For quite a few, these wounds have been existent for many, many years. Many, many, many years. And the focus isn't necessarily on the fact that we've been wounded, on the fact that we've been disappointed, lied to, well, whatever it is that happened. Um, and it's different for everyone. Okay. I'm not saying all twin connections have this type of ugly. Like, I didn't have an argument with my counterpart. There wasn't any lying. There was just a separation, a misalignment, and amplified and separation, and that's that. So every single twin connection is different. It's different, okay? But the fact is, if a separation did occur, whether you guys were separated as friends, separated as potential romantic partners, whatever it is, that created wounds. Okay. If you guys weren't able to separate in a way where, hey, I just, I don't really want to be friends anymore, and you're able to talk, um, of course, there's going to be this assumption that something happened and hurt and misunderstanding, all of that stuff. And so you have to begin sorting through that on your own at this point. You have to begin sifting through and seeing what parts of what I remember were things that actually happened, and what parts are the parts that I told myself because there was no clarity. I wasn't provided the clarity. Um, for many twin connections, there's that whole like runner and chaser dynamic. Luckily for me, we're both runners. There's no chasing. We're both runners. So because because we're both runners, what ends up happening, um, I'm pretty sure, uh, there's this need to understand, and so you make up your own story because the person is not there to explain to you, like, hey, you triggered some childhood shit. And so I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. We're not friends no more. I'm not gonna answer any message, nothing. We're good. Yeah, bye. Then what ends up happening, they make up this story within their mind, like, oh, it's because this and this, and they think I'm this and they that. And when in actuality, especially in my case, it was just like, whoa, that energy triggers some shit from childhood. I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm not ready to process my childhood wounds. I'm good off that. So again, there's no context, so there's no way for me to be like, yeah, I'm not actually mad at you. I don't actually hate you. It's just like I had some of my own shit that I had to deal with, and I was avoiding my own shit, and so I just couldn't be your friend, you know. But hey, it's different for everyone. If you're going to allow yourself to grow, if you're going to allow yourself to begin rising to levels of consciousness that will gift you the opportunity to process and release that pain, the type of growth you can experience is limitless. Limitless. It's absolutely limitless. But if you continue to cling on to these teachings that people spread regarding twin flames, twin rays, whatever the hell, yeah, no, you're going to keep suffering. You're going to keep suffering. You're going to keep feeling hurt. You're going to keep feeling rejected. You're going to continue to have a lot of anger um, towards this other person, towards yourself. There's no need for blaming. There's no need for holding on to things that need to be allowed to be put to rest. And the connection that you had before the separation, that's a very different connection than what you'll have if there is a reconnection that occurs, because the two of you have been through so much. For many, that separation has allowed each individual to really, really unearth quite a bit of buried things. It's such a gift, such a painful gift to be able to reach those levels of self that I don't think anyone else could really trigger, to be honest. You would be very hard pressed to find someone who could trigger that type of, that level of self-realization. I don't know that you can. I wish I knew how to drop every barrier. What if you're not meant to drop every barrier? What if those barriers exist? What if those barriers are the very internal constructs that keep you safe from other people who would very nonchalantly harm you? What if the key here is understanding there's a need for discernment in regards to who you give a key to? Because you don't have to not have barriers. You just have to know which people you should allow in and which are better left kept out. And so maybe that's what you need to focus on at this point, realizing what your internal process is and what it is you're trying to learn, how you're trying to grow from this. Okay. Okay. Let me give you guys your final card. I just remembered I didn't have the final card. I'm not mad. Just wish we could bridge the gap now that we have both evolved so much. How do you know they've evolved? And telephones work both ways. That's what I'm told. How do you know he's evolved? And telephones work both ways. So you could okay, let me just, I'm trying not to say things in regards to pop culture and current events. Oh my gosh. Okay, one more shuffle. And then I'm gonna go eat some cookies. Some grain-free cookies. Just saying. If you guys want to experience some goodness on a whole nother level, I'm just gonna show this to you guys really quick, okay? Give me a moment. So I can't have any types of grains at all. Not rice, not corn, not nothing, not gluten, not none of that shit. This is the best shit ever. It has almond flour, honey, arrowroot, tapioca starch, chocolate chips made with organic cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate, cocoa butter, organic coconut oil, organic coconut sugar, organic palm shortening, vanilla extract, eggs, apple cider vinegar, organic, flax meal, sea salt, baking soda, rosemary extract. This is my crack. This is my crack. That's my plans for after this reading is done. I'm going to eat my cookies in my husband's lap so that he can pet my hair. I hope he's ready. All right, guys, final card. Okay, here we go. Card number 24, resplendent with grace. Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me, hidden inside as the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are in the ear. You are in the mind. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. The darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in the fine golden hue of your presence. There is only beauty beheld now, for there's nothing that is not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. Is it difficult to see your magnificence? Without a mirror the size of a galaxy, how could you possibly witness all that you are? You must just catch glimpses of your truth now and then. If you could see yourself as I see you in all your glorious fullness of being, you are you are swimming in robes of grace, so light and freeing that they do not weigh you down, and yet so luscious and full that you cannot help but stir the movement of all of creation as you step this way and that. Of course, it matters not to grace whether you see or do not see, for grace simply is, without witnessing being required. Yet you might live rather differently, my beloved, should you realize you are not only worthy of grace, but actually dripping with it, saturated with divine presence so rich it leaks out of you and causes sunlight to pool at your holy feet. You, yes, you are resplendent in holiness and sanctity. Should you come to know this as I do, you would take each step with awe and reverence. You would decide that not a thing in your world could be classed as mundane, and decide with bold fervor that you are living in godliness and must create your world through choices that honor love. No fear, even the most stubbornly persistent, would be able to withstand the sight of your magnificent beating heart, so wild with life. In the sight of that wild heart, you would have to call all your fears close to you, soothing them with your words of love like riled children in need of tenderness and quiet. Then, when rested, you would wake them from their slumber, and they would arise as falcons, ready to soar to the height of your most daring visions. Hunting for life to feed them, they will ensure the ample grace pulsing within your heart has its chance to come to life in the world and serve love. This oracle comes to you with a message. You may be wondering if you can attain this next stage of growth in your life. You are already well equipped to do so. No matter what you might believe about the situation, circumstance, or others involved, even yourself, you have within your soul possession more than enough grace to see you through anything you are bold enough to envision for yourself, or for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray through unconditional love to access all that you are, to be supported by those beings that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are so drenched in sacred grace that the well of your being is full. All that is needed to nurture you onto the next step of your life path is within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability, your readiness, and your capacity to take this next phase of the journey now. How could it be otherwise, for you are one with grace? That's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. I hope the messages that were delivered for this reading gave those who it resonated with the clarity that you need to help you on your journey, as well as to help you heal wounds that are needing to finally be allowed to heal. Okay, so you guys, if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Get yourself a box of this because it is the shit. Just saying. Notice how the box is empty? It's an empty box. It's in my belly. That's fine. Bye, guys.